Hello and welcome back to the Mainly Sports Podcast. He's Jeesh,
And he's Shoop.
and today we're going to go over our preview and predictions for Money in the Bank 2020 coming up tomorrow, which is Sunday afternoon. Which this is probably going to come out Sunday morning, so it'll probably be today, I guess, in that time. So let's start off with the kickoff show. The first match we got is Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. This match doesn't really make too much sense in essence. This was brought to everybody's attention today, because today is actually Saturday that we're recording this. That would be Jeff Hardy versus Cesaro. It does make some kind of sense because Jeff Hardy's going into this feud with Sheamus. But Sheamus and Cesaro have been teammates for like a year now, since Sheamus has been out with injury and his condition that he had. So it doesn't make full sense, but it makes at least some kind of sense. I have Jeff Hardy going over in this match.
Yeah, I also have Jeff Hardy. Like you said, the match doesn't really make much sense, but it kind of does with the whole Sheamus thing. And then they were making a big deal about Jeff Hardy yesterday. So, yeah, I think Jeff Hardy is going to beat Cesaro in a quick match.
Yeah, speaking of that, they were making a big deal about Jeff Hardy yesterday because he came back on SmackDown, and it was the same old thing. So, to the viewers, I tried recording the first ever SmackDown live review for the podcast, and I tried it twice. I recorded it 2 separate times, and both times it was corrupt file, so I couldn't even get it. And I was tired, so I just said, screw it, and move on. And but when I was watching, he came back, and he just did that same tired act of, I've had all my highs in WWE and I've had all my lows. And then he's like, I got one good last run at me, which Rey Mysterio just said a couple months ago. Like, it's literally the same thing. And then Sheamus came out and just did all the same stuff that Chris Jericho did, CM Punk said, and Randy Orton said about the whole drug problems and drinking problems. And it was the same regurgitated bull crap. And so now we get this match. That has nothing to really do with the feud, because Sheamus and Cesaro really don't have anything to do with each other really anymore. So, but yeah, so we both got Jeff Hardy. That's cool. Then we got R-Truth versus MVP in the next match. I have MVP winning. Nobody in WWE management takes R-Truth seriously, so sure, he'll just eat a loss. And MVP is not really a performer in the WWE. He's had a couple matches since he re-debuted. But other than that, he's just been a guy that's sat on a chair and interviewed other superstars. So I think he's going to go into more of a managerial role. So maybe the win will help him out in that aspect, I guess. But winning or losing for R-Truth doesn't really matter. So might as well go with the MVP.
Yeah, this match makes less sense than what the first match makes, I think. But so I just threw out who I thought had more talent in the ring. So I put R-Truth. I understand no one takes him seriously, but I've always been a fan, and yeah, so R-Truth. Not much to say about this match.
Oh, trust me, I would much rather see R-Truth win. I do. I love R-Truth, but I just don't think they'll go that route. They don't take him, like I said, they don't take him seriously. But and yes, this match 100% makes zero sense, absolute zero sense. So next up, we have the SmackDown Tag Team Championship Fatal 4-Way match between the New Day, who are the champions, The Miz and John Morrison, versus the Forgotten Sons versus the Lucha House Party. So on Friday night, The Miz and John Morrison pinned the Lucha House Party to get the win. They had a 8-man tag match. It was New Day and Lucha House Party versus Miz and John Morrison and the Forgotten Sons. And The Miz and John Morrison picked up the win. So in my eyes, that means The Miz and John Morrison have zero chance to win this match because they got the pin just before the pay-per-view. So that's not happening. So now it's down between the New Day, Forgotten Sons, and Lucha House Party. They've built up the Lucha House Party as a feel-good story, but I feel like every single time that happens, it's just because they hype them up to make them think they have a chance. But at the end of the day, they ain't going to win. So now it's down between the New Day and the Forgotten Sons, and I say the New Day. I just see them retaining. I don't think they're going to run with the Forgotten Sons. The Forgotten Sons are my second choice for sure, but I just feel like they're just going to keep the titles on New Day because they don't have full investment in the Forgotten Sons yet. But they might shock us, and they might actually do something good for a change and give the Forgotten Sons the win. But I see the New Day retaining.
Yeah, I'm looking at this match. The Forgotten Sons are kind of a newer team, as you said. I think Lucha House Party. I think they're going to be competitive the whole match, but I just think it's going to come down to New Day and Miz and Morrison. And like you said, Miz and Morrison pinning, winning the match the other night just kind of makes you feel like New Day is going to retain it. So I also chose the New Day to retain the Tag Team Championship, SmackDown Tag Titles.
All right, so there we go. So that means we have two the same, one different. A post-video shoot. It's the editing shoot now. Do want to just mention that the Raw Tag Team Championships are being defended, which the Street Profits, who are the champions, are going to be taking on the Viking Raiders. Me and Jeesh, I have talked to Jeesh, and Jeesh has said that he thinks that the Street Profits are going to retain, just like I do as well. I think it'll be a hard-fought match. The Viking Raiders definitely could win this match. I see this could either go either way, honestly. We're thinking that the Street Profits are going to take out the win here and retain. They're just too much for the poster childs for WWE, the hype guys for WWE. I wouldn't say poster childs, but definitely the hype guys of WWE. So people like them. The Viking Raiders, they've kind of been off and on in their main roster career. So we're looking to see Street Profits retain. All right, so moving on to the next match, we have a SmackDown Women's Championship match. Bayley, who is the champion, versus Tamina. I see Tamina having absolutely zero chance in this match whatsoever. She's absolutely terrible. They always put her in these spots, and she always loses. It's a joke. I've seen her live in Augusta when they came up here in August, and she knocked herself out. And they blacked out the arena because she was actually hurt. And she's just horrible in the ring. I have zero training in the ring. I have zero training in the WWE, and I feel like she is just as lost as I would be if I stepped in the ring, trying to remember choreography of a match. So Bayley easily wins.
Yeah, Bayley is so hyped up right now. I think Bayley is definitely going to retain the title. So yeah, like everything that you said, there's no competition here. Bayley easily wins. I'd be very shocked if she didn't retain.
And also, I think this match is just setting up because Sasha and Bayley have been having this go at it back and forth kind of thing for a little bit now, that they've been teasing a breakup yet again. So I think they might actually go full-fledged with it and go into a feud, Bayley and Sasha Banks over the title. So that's just my thoughts, because Bayley did kind of mess up Sasha Banks' chance to get into the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. So moving forward from that, though, because we don't need to spend any more time on Tamina, the Universal Championship match between Braun Strowman, the champion, versus Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt. I don't care if it's the Demon Bray Wyatt or not Demon Bray Wyatt, but I can't think now. But that kind of Bray Wyatt with a mask, or if it's Mr. Rogers' version. I'm thinking it's Mr. Rogers' version because the Fiend. There we go. The Fiend has not been on at all, so I think it's gonna be the Mr. Rogers version of him, and which is cool as well. Just I don't like Braun Strowman as a champion. I don't think WWE likes him as a champion. He was just a quick solution when Roman Reigns said he wasn't going to wrestle through the pandemic. So I think they should just get the title off him as fast as they can. And this is their first opportunity, so I think they're going to take it, and Bray Wyatt's going to win.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from with that. I have Braun Strowman retaining the championship. Obviously the reason why he has the championship because he took Roman Reigns' place at WrestleMania 36. I just don't see WWE handing the title over to Bray Wyatt that quick. I think this could be a match for the next pay-per-view. I'd rather see Bray Wyatt win, but I just think Braun Strowman is going to be hyped up for the performer that he's not right now. So.
Well, this is my thinking. Like, I understand where Braun Strowman winning would make sense just because he just won at WrestleMania. And then, but also on the flip side, they have to keep Bray Wyatt strong. So, in a perfect world, it would make sense to have Braun Strowman win this match and then go on and Bray Wyatt beat him as the Fiend instead of Mr. Rogers. Like Mr. Rogers wasn't enough to do it, so the Fiend takes over. So that would make sense, and do that at SummerSlam or whatever. But the only problem with that is they've already had Bray Wyatt get squashed as the Fiend by Goldberg, and then that match at WrestleMania that we won't even talk about at all. That wasn't even it wasn't even a match. And so they already made him look really weak. So I feel like if they have him lose again, even if it's a messed up finish, it's just gonna ruin Bray Wyatt. I don't want to see that. So I really want to see Bray Wyatt win, and I really hope he does. But I could see WWE having Braun Strowman win. So I don't think you're absolutely completely wrong with that answer. The WWE's not very bright. So moving on to the WWE Championship, I see Drew McIntyre winning this. For the kind of like the same reason why you see Braun Strowman winning it. You don't see him taking off from this fast. They had Drew McIntyre beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania pretty quick and pretty convincingly. They had him eliminate him at the Royal Rumble. They've been talking him up ever since the Royal Rumble. I just don't see them going away from Drew McIntyre. I think it's gonna be a really good match because it's Seth Rollins in there with him. But Drew McIntyre is just too big right now in the crowd's eyes, and as a name to drop the title in just a month after WrestleMania. So
I definitely agree with you on that. Like you said, Drew just won the title against Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar is, in WWE's eyes, a very tough opponent to beat. I mean, he'd be tough to beat in real life anyway, but Brock Lesnar has been on top of the WWE for a long time now, and Drew McIntyre went in there, beat him, and he's just not going to lose the title that quick. It's the same. It's different with Strowman. Strowman could have a chance to lose the Universal title, but McIntyre, I don't think they have any plans for him losing the title anytime soon. But like you said, with Seth Rollins being in the ring, Seth Rollins is going to make it a one hell of a match. I know that. It's gonna be the most entertaining match of the night, besides maybe the men's Money in the Bank.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think that the Jeff Hardy match versus Cesaro is going to be pretty good, even though it's on the kickoff show. But I think this match will be the best match of the night besides the men's Money in the Bank, only because Drew McIntyre is just an animal, and Seth Rollins is the Monday Night Messiah as a heel role is like so good. Like he's such a cocky asshole, and I love it. So it's way better than his geeky kiss ass role as a heel or as a face. So that's nice. Next up, we have the women's Money in the Bank ladder match with Nia Jax, Asuka, Shayna Baszler, Lacey Evans, Carmella, and Dana Brooke. Last two, you can just cut off the end of that because neither one of them actually matter whatsoever. I feel like they just needed punching bags, so they just threw Carmella and Dana Brooke in there. Nia Jax and Lacey Evans, that they look like they might have a chance, but they don't actually have a chance in reality. And then Asuka has a small chance, but Shayna Baszler, in my eyes, is the clear pick. Like they showed a picture of like the preview for Money in the Bank, and they had the women's ladder match there, and just Shayna Baszler popped out on that poster. Like it was, you just looked at Shayna Baszler and none of the other women existed. It was ridiculous. So Shayna Baszler's my pick for that. And I think honestly, if I had to pick for one lock of the day, like what match is my lock, it would, even though Bayley is a very obvious pick, Shayna Baszler is even more obvious in the Money in the Bank in my opinion.
I went with the upset. I'm going with Asuka just because it's going to come down to those two. Like you said, Carmella and Dana Brooke, we don't even know why they're in there, but they had to fill the roles. Obviously, I don't have much to say about this. It's obvious that you know what you're talking about with this more than I do because I don't pay attention to women's as much. I will start looking into women's matches in the future in the Money in the Bank, which probably won't happen. I'm going to go with Asuka.
Yeah, if I had to pick a long shot though, because in my opinion, Asuka's not a long shot. If I had to pick a long shot, it's probably Lacey Evans having the third best odds, but I really don't see that happening.
Yeah.
But let's get into women's wrestling really quick because there's a big difference. I'm not saying it's bad. The wrestling I like is when they look like they're hurting their opponents, but they're not. When they look like they don't care about the opponent, but that they don't care about their opponents, but they do. And men's wrestling, they are really good at that. And I'm not saying women's wrestling is bad, but it just always seems like the women are always trying to protect their opponent all the time, and that shows through, and it makes it sloppy, which sometimes makes it very hard to watch a women's match. They're improving. They are getting a lot better. I'm not saying it's bad by any means. They do everything just as good as the men can do, but it's just they they are too safe with their opponent. And I think a lot of these women need to get better at protecting the woman that they're in the match with, but making it look like they don't care if they break their neck. So I think that's just my biggest criticism on women's wrestling. We'll move on to the last match in the night, or it probably will be the last match of the night. The men's Money in the Bank ladder match: AJ Styles versus Aleister Black versus Rey Mysterio versus Daniel Bryan versus Otis versus King Corbin. And since I've gone first every single time, this is probably the main event. Every single one of these guys. You go first, buddy.
All right, so this match I think is going to be one of the best Money in the Bank matches that we've seen in a few years. My heart wants to say Ray, but my gut is saying AJ Styles. I just think AJ Styles fits the heel to be against, most likely Drew McIntyre, I'm guessing, if he wins.
Yeah.
If he wants to cash in that early, he could wait a whole year. You never know. But I just think AJ Styles is like the perfect fit for a Money in the Bank winner. I just don't see Otis winning it. It would be a feel-good story if he did. I don't think King Corbin's going to win. I don't think Ray's going to win it. I think it's going to come down to AJ Styles or Aleister Black, in my opinion. And I think AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, is going to come out with the briefcase.
I'm throwing a curveball, and I say they're going to add a seventh person mid-match.
Okay.
And because they're fighting in the WWE headquarters, and Zoink the Clown is going to jump out of a closet and win this match. No. So Corbin's already won, and his cash-in was failed. So I don't see him winning. The Otis spot this past Friday, dude, they did the same thing they did with Big Show when Big Show was going to be in it. He went to climb the ladder, and he broke the rungs. So I'm sure they're going to have some heavy-duty ladder up there that Otis is going to grab throughout the match. But yeah, I don't see him winning it. Nor do I see Rey Mysterio. I almost said Ray Allen. Rey Mysterio, because I don't think he's got another championship run in him in WWE's eyes. Rey Mysterio definitely does, but I just don't see the WWE using him that way. Daniel Bryan's got bigger things, so then it does come down to AJ Styles versus Aleister Black. I chose Aleister Black because he might not be a heel, but he's also not a face. He's kind of like one of the tweener guys, kind of like a Stone Cold was. And he's just super cool. So putting him up against anybody, it's still going to be at least 50-50 on who's rooting for who. The reason why I don't want to go with AJ Styles is because there was talks about him wanting to take some, get a lighter schedule. And I think if he was to have another championship run by cashing the Money in the Bank. And plus, I hate how he came back. He came back Monday, dude, with nothing. He got buried alive by The Undertaker. If you go back and look at the times that Undertaker was buried alive, Undertaker was buried alive in 2000 or right before 2000, and he came back later on in 2000 as Dead Man Walking, the American Badass. And then in 2003 or 2002, he gets buried again, or it was 2003, and he got buried again by Kane, and he makes his debut 2004 WrestleMania as the Dead Man again. He changed, and even AJ Styles said that they should have had him change some kind of character. But instead, they needed a guy to fill in a spot at Money in the Bank, because I can't remember who got dropped out of it, but somebody got dropped out of the match. So Apollo got taken out of Money in the Bank due to a fake injury. Or it could have been real, but I think it was fake. Anyways, so AJ Styles had to come in to this gauntlet match where he was getting a final chance on Monday Night Raw. And he just debuted as the last guy in the match and won the match, and then was like, oh yeah, I got buried. So what? It was just horrible. It was so rushed. It was crappy. And even AJ Styles said that on one of his Mixer live streams. So yeah, Aleister Black is my choice here, and I really want to see it happen because Aleister Black got moved up. He was like a top dog in NXT, great finisher, great character, and he knows how to play well. He's all tatted up, looks badass. And then when he came up to the main roster, he just sat there in a dark room waiting for somebody to pick a fight with him for months. It was absolutely stupid. So I think he deserves the Money in the Bank, and I think if he wins, everybody's going to get behind him. AJ Styles is already an established star. Rey Mysterio is, Daniel Bryan is. I think King Corbin's already established himself as a bust. Nobody likes him. And then you got Otis and Aleister Black that are the two that I wouldn't actually mind seeing win this match. but I don't think Otis has any chance. So Aleister Black is my pick. Do you think any surprises are going to happen, Jeesh?
No, I think this is a pretty safe pay-per-view for the WWE. I think they're trying to get their ratings back up, so they're going to do what it takes to get it back up here. So I don't see any. I mean, there could be big surprises because of that, but I just don't see it.
So you don't see like the Clown jumping out of a closet and beating people up?
No.
Damn it. I was really hoping, man. Wait, actually, what's the percentage chance that somebody in the men's Money in the Bank match gets thrown off the top of the building?
Off the top of the building?
Yeah, off the top of the building. What do you think the chances are? Or at least they make it look like they did. Like they act like they did. What do you think the chances are that somebody gets thrown off the building? In quotations.
7%.
7%?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to one up that. I'm going to go 70%.
Okay.
I just have a feeling somebody's going off that thing, dude. And Rey Mysterio has been talking a lot about flying. And King Corbin did say in an interview, I wonder how far he can fly. And then Aleister Black did say, well, we all know Rey Mysterio can fly. So, I don't know, dude. Rey Mysterio might be getting thrown off the building. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. So, let's go back. And so, I got 70%. You got 7. So, we had the R-Truth MVP different. You said R-Truth. I said MVP.
Yep.
We had the tag team champions as New Day. They're retaining. You said Bayley. Oh, and we had Braun Strowman different. So we only had 2 matches different.
And the women's Money in the Bank.
Oh, yes, the women's Money in the Bank, too. Sweet. So we'd actually have a clear-cut winner on who gets more picks right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, sounds good. Do you have any closing remarks for Sunday's pay-per-view?
I think it's gonna be fun to watch going to the top of the headquarters. It's something new, and I think it's gonna be something that you're not gonna see for a while. I know you haven't seen it before, but it's gonna be interesting, so to say.
Yes. Are you going to be watching Sunday, by the way, tomorrow?
Yes, I do. WWE Network. Make sure you check it out.
Thanks for listening to the Mainly Sports preview and predictions for Money in the Bank 2020. Make sure to like and subscribe. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at mainly_sports. That's MAINELY_SPORTZ. Thank you. Until next time.